So I'm having a moment right now. It's a moment of extreme gratitude. There are people showing up for me in a way that makes me a little emotional. And I don't need to talk about, what the thing is, but people are showing up for me. And not that I should be surprised, because these particular people would be people who would show up for me because that's just the kind of people they are. But it still doesn't negate the I don't know, the gratitude, whatever emotions it brings up, being touched in my heart and my soul. It's just really cool. And it makes me think about, maybe wants me to share, be a good person, right? Be good to others. Be of service. Do good for other people. Treat other people right. Treat other people good. Because there's part of a self-serving part of that, because it makes you feel good to do something good for other people. We should always keep that in mind. Like, you want to feel good. Like, you want to feel good about something. You feel down and in a funk about something. I know it said a couple of posts ago I talked about being a state of gratitude can pull you out of that. But you know what also works, a really active thing, is do something for someone else. You can't help but feel good. And not that you do it for things in return, but I guess the icing, the extra value in that is that people will show up for you. And people will show up for you when you need them to. And just like, if everyone in this world could keep in the forefront of their mind being of service to other people and treating other people good, this world would be such a better fucking place, right? So, have gratitude and do something good for somebody else. That's my message. But I'm just in a state of gratitude for people who are living out for me and showing up for me. And if you happen to be one of those people watching this, you know who you are, and I thank you. That's it. Be good. All right. I've been, on this grind, on this workout grind. So I go to this kickboxing gym, right? And we do these challenge of the week. So one of the challenge this week is how many round kicks you can do in the bag, right? And so someone in there has got like 228 kicks. So my first go around, I think I got like 151. And when I went back in yesterday, to do the challenge again, I'm looking at that 228 like, man, that's a hard number to beat. And even though I was looking at that number and had that number as a reference, the important part for me was to beat my score, my 151. I ended up beating that. I broke 200. I'm not at 228 yet, but at least I broke 200. But the point was that the important part was doing better than I did the day before. And I think it's really easy for us to get caught up in social media, especially here on Instagram and Facebook, and seeing what other people are doing. And what most people do when they're posting the best of what's happening in their lives, right? And more of the highs than the lows. And oftentimes we can get caught up in that and looking out, man, everybody else seems to be doing, better better than me, or doing this better than me, and yada yada yada. And I just want to remind everybody, as I also remind myself, that what we want to do is, sure, there are other we can look at reference points as opposed to comparisons. Look at reference points, but the important thing to ask yourself is, did I do better today than I did yesterday? And that's just not an exercise, physical exercise, just whatever. Was I a better husband today than I was yesterday? Did I treat myself better today than I did yesterday? I think those are the things that are really important, because self-care is not just a trend, a fad, or a word. Self-care is a verb, and it's real. And if we don't treat ourselves the best, then how can we expect other people to treat us the best? No one is actually supposed to treat us better than we treat ourselves, right?
Malcolm-Jamal Warner died as a result of asphyxia after he was caught by a high current in the ocean, according to what the reporters have actually come out to reveal. His body was reportedly found on Sunday afternoon, and the Cosby Show alum, Malcom-Jamal Warner, passed on. He was in Costa Rica at the age of 54. TMZ was the first to actually reveal and break this story, and they heard a reliable source who said that Malcolm actually died as a result of an accidental drowning while he was vacationing with his daughter. As you know, Malcolm-Jamal he straight up owned the 80s as Theodore Huxtable on the Cosby Show, snagging an Emmy Award, and locking his spurt in TV reality. He kept the hustle going with sitcom favorite Malcolm and Eddie, which actually featured a couple of cartoons, and of course the Magic School Bus. He even flexed his music talent with a Grammy win in 2015. Man, it's really very heartbreaking to hear these reports that one of the highly respected men, that is Malcolm Jamal, actually passed on. Most recently, he was hosting a podcast, Not All Hood, and his latest episode just dropped just 3 days ago. I was checking through some of the material he has been posting, and man, it was really good. So hearing the news that he has passed away is really very heartbreaking. Malcolm did of course acknowledge how the show's legacy had changed given the allegations made against Cosby, the 88-year-old who was convicted of a couple of SA in 2018, but later had the change overturned. That was in 2021, only for 5 more women to come out again and accuse him of SA. So regardless of how some people I may feel about the show, for me I think the legacy of Malcolm and other actors still remains. Malcolm-Jamal leaves behind a wife and a daughter, and he chose not to publicly share their names, always keeping his family life very, very much private. We are sending our deepest condolences to the whole family, friends, and everyone who knew and loved Malcolm. Rest in power, King. We'll be coming out to give you more updates with regards to this developing story. Bye bye for now.